Greetings. My name is Brian Haltiwanger. I'm a student at Fort Hays State University, Hays, Kansas. I'm taking EDL 856, School Community Relations. We're given a case study on parental apathy. The case study we're given is about a assistant principal, Miss Rose, who had just gotten her degree 4 months earlier. She has just gotten her first job as an assistant principal. She wants to start a parental advisory committee. She goes to her principal, who originally says no. After some time passes, he does agree to at least see if there's any interest. He does tell her, however, they will not have a PTO or a PTA, only a parental advisory committee. He sent out invitations to see if there was any interest. He sent them by students. The turnout turned out to be very low. Only 8 parents showed up. Now I needed to identify the problems that they were having. Some of the things that I've read and I saw, there's very little parental involvement in the school at all. The principal likes the current system where there's not parental involvement. There will never be a PTO or a PTA as long as that principal is there. The invitation was sent home by students only, and there was a very low turnout for the meeting, only 8 parents. Things that I know there's very little parental involvement in the school. I know there have been some parents groups in the past. I don't know why they were disbanded. I know the principal does not care to get parents involved. I know the invitation went out on a Friday, which is probably the worst day to send anything home. I know the invitation was sent home via students. I know only 8 parents showed up. I know the principal wanted to cancel the meeting with the low number of participants. Some things I need to know that were not discussed in the case study. Is this an elementary, middle, or high school? How many students attend this school? I want to know why the principal is not more open to a PTO or a PTA. Is there a call-out system that could be used? Is there money for postage? Is transportation an issue in this district? If it's a poor district, parents may not have vehicles to get to school. Why was the date so vague on the invitation? A week from Monday is not how you send out an invitation. You give a specific date and time. January 19th at 7:30 is the way it should have been worded. And lastly, I need to know what roles these 8 parents who showed up, what they would be willing to perform to increase attendance at the next meeting. My plan of action from this point would be I would want to thank the parents that came and get their input on why they thought attendance was low. Sometimes parents can tell you things that you don't know. I would also plan a second meeting in 2 weeks. My plan of action would also have the following components. I would increase parental participation by having a call out, if available, inviting all parents. This is where all parents are mechanically called and a recorded message tells them about the meeting. That's one way you can make sure that parents get the message. I would send the invitation home via U.S. mail if the funds are available. That way I'm not relying on a student to give their parents the invitation. I would also have every parent that was contacted by a teacher or an administrator for the next 2 weeks, they would be issued an invitation, a verbal invitation for the next meeting. There will be many parent contacts within a 2-week period, and this is just another way to let them know that the meeting would be taking place. I would also provide refreshments at the meeting. I will get into that a little bit later on. I would ask the 8 parents to personally invite 2 other parents to the meeting, start a chain, and then get each one of those 2 asked to the next time. And I would put a date on every invitation, not a week from Monday. I would definitely say the meeting is at January 19th on 2:30. Have people put it on their calendar, and not make them have to figure out what day it was on. There are some issues at this school that need to be resolved. There were parent groups in the past. Now I know they can have parent groups, but I do not know why they were disbanded. I would make sure all parents know about the future meetings. I feel sure most parents never received a note their children brought home. It was brought by the children on a Friday. I imagine if you were to go to through the children's book bag, very likely you will find many notes that have never been seen by a parent. I would go in the local community and ask businesses to donate small gifts that could be given away at the next meeting. I would then advertise that we were going to have giveaways. I would also go into the business community asking for snacks and food that could be served at the next meeting. And I would let the parents know what the meeting was about. In the original invitation, it was just called a special meeting. Parents will not respond if they do not know what it's about. Debrief the problem. As I was reading the case, I wondered why the principal did not want parental involvement or a PTO or a PTA. I found it strange, and I would be curious, does he consider that more work for himself, or does he want to run the whole school without parental involvement because it's easier? I'd also be curious what made him change his mind after he originally said no. Was that prompted from him, or did the district office actually say something to him about getting more parents involved? And I would want to know why parents did not want to be involved in their child's education. I found after 15 years in education, I know when parents are involved, students perform better. I know that all parents may not get involved. Some for transportation issues, some may be working when meetings are called. Some just won't care. But I do think most parents will get involved if given the opportunity. Maybe not every time, but some of the time. I also know that the principal will never give his full support, so I will have to work around that. I know once district office finds out, they will welcome parental support. That is always something that they can brag about to other districts and put on their webpage. And I would also provide a school bus for parents with transportation issues. They would probably have to sign up for it, but if it's a poor district, it's very often parents do not have a way to get to the school to be involved. I will provide a detailed letter to parents stating what my objectives were, and I will make sure it was delivered in a timely manner, hopefully via U.S. mail. If not, I would deliver it by students as a last resort, and I would also have the call out. I would ask local business for donations of food, and they would be able to advertise at future meetings, and I would ask local businesses for donations of gift cards, and they would be able to advertise at future meetings. If you're giving away food and giving away gifts, people will show up. I would also get my staff involved with inviting parents and being positive about the future meeting. Anytime my staff talked to somebody, they would issue an invitation. And last but not least, for the following school year, I would try to provide a family fun day at the beginning of the year. This would get the community involved, and they would be more receptive to helping form a parental committee if they already had some contact with the school. At this point, grades are not involved, attendance is not involved, everything's as good as it's going to get. Parents will come out for a family fun day. They're going to hear no bad news about their child, and they can see the positive atmosphere that we are creating at our school. Hopefully, this will get the community involved, get parents involved, and our school will become a leader in parental participation.